Friends like these are your enemies. Welcome to today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles Life Coaching, decade-long recipient of narcissistic abuse, and I've saved myself from it. And I will support you on your journey to your personal freedom. So, the basis for today's video is a user comment, one of the unkind kind, which I usually ignore or remove or shame pin, so for everybody of you to see. But in this case, it proved to be very educational, or may hopefully prove educational for you in order to quickly spot speech patterns and intent behind it when it comes to toxic people in your lives, be that family, girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, workplace, or friendship related. So I will try as good as I can to translate this German comment into English. I will ignore the fact that it wasn't really a grammatical masterpiece in German. But that said, it is Apollino. Getting cat interference here. It is very educational for you to spot aspects like gaslighting, projection, deflection, and other manipulative speech patterns. And if someone in your social vicinity acts akin to this, they are not your friends and they do not have your best interest at heart. Spend time with them at your own peril. I will refer to this person, who appears to be a female user, as Jessica, because as most of you know, my favorite narcissists are Jeff and Jessica, so this time we will talk about Jessica. And if Jessica is watching this, the real Jessica here for the comment, if I have to read anything from you that proves to be equally unconstructive for the comment section, I will either use it for the pin of shame, or I will just push it and your user presence into the oblivion of irrelevance, where you know that you belong. So, let's get into this. I find it very intense that a narcissist is being dehumanized here, degraded, expelled. It is a weakness like any other human abyss and completely natural. Don't you all think that the narcissist himself suffers the most from his character? What makes you think that Apollino? What makes you think caused all these immense weaknesses in the narcissist? Only due to truly intense traumatic experiences. Does that mean that you have to allow everything to happen to you? Of course not. I find, however, that empaths need to learn to set better boundaries instead of wallowing in victim mentality, and in order to feed their ego, label the narcissist as the Antichrist and degrade them as such in order for you to feel better. I will pin the German comment in there, up there for a second. You can pause it if you like. But that said, we will go through this comment, this very educational comment, unwillingly so, in the following structure. First of all, I will pick a single element, a sentence, a word from the comment. I will give you my analysis, and afterwards I will label it with the intent, the motivation behind it, why this was, what was the desired outcome for the recipient, in that case me and everybody else who read the comment. So, dehumanized. Analysis. A person like Jessica can take this up with Professor Sam Vaknin, who himself has apparently received at least 2 diagnoses to be a narcissist, and he claims that there is nobody in there, really. There's nobody in there. If you've seen his speech in Budapest a few years ago, 2020 I think it was, then this is where I first heard it from him. Coming back to you, ladies and gentlemen, it is entirely up to you and your choice alone to remove your time, your energy, your validation, your attention from somebody. You do not have a duty, you do not have an obligation to give that out to whoever tries to demand it from you. What's the motivation, the intent? Pure gaslighting. May you doubt thy reality. Degraded, next element. Analysis. Well, for a person like Jessica, I have surprising news. Every one of us judges everyone and everything all the time. This is an intrinsic, biologically built-in, gender-unspecific survival mechanism, judging something or somebody as more valuable or less, or most, or not at all. So we all have to put our big boy pants and our big girl pants on and face it that we are being judged. A person like Jessica was in the comments section in order to judge me in a degrading way, and me being a big boy, I somehow have to handle that emotion and that intent. So what's the motivation and the intent behind this? One more thing for the analysis. What a person like Jessica doesn't seem to understand: status is earned. Status is not freely given. Same goes for your empathy, ladies and gentlemen. Same goes for your respect. Empathy is earned. Respect is earned. None of them are freely given, especially when you've been through narcissistic abuse of decades. And when somebody, here's news for you, Jessica, when somebody behaves in a literally asocial way, in an antagonistic way, your status drops. So what did you do here? The intent, victim card, victim mentality. Next element, expelled. I know I repeat myself, ladies and gentlemen, but you need to keep this in mind and hammer it in there and chisel it into mental stone, that your time, your validation, your attention that you're giving, it is your choice and your choice alone who or what you are giving it to and who or what you are removing it from. And when somebody repeatedly hurts, damages, and or abuses you in any way, it is your right to expel them from that social group of two. And they will have to bear it. And by the way, none of you, ladies and gentlemen, are going out there proactively, waking up in the morning, who can I expel from my social circle today? It is Wednesday, let's pick Tom. This is not how you wake up. You expelling somebody is a reaction, and it is your darn good right to do so. So what did Jessica do here? Play the victim card again. Next element, it is supposedly a weakness like any other human abyss. Well, I don't care one way or another about this statement. What remains, the only question that is most important for you, ladies and gentlemen, at least according to my opinion, is mental point of origin. You should analyze social interactions toward you with the single thought, how does it affect me? Are you enticed to act or not act in a specific way, speak or not speak in a certain way? Is it meant to degrade you, to hurt you, to invalidate you, to uplift you, to make you happy, to be productively helpful, whichever it is? You should judge over time, according to you being your own mental point of origin. How does it affect you? You are not in a place where you should ignore your own mental health. You do not have an obligation, you do not have a duty to offer your time, validation, and attention to somebody who just screams, "I demand it." You're not the emotional regulatory tampon for people. And then she refers to these narcissistic traits being all natural. Well, Jessica, here's a quick lesson from a certain type of cephalopod out there in Mother Nature called the blue ring octopus. The blue ring octopus is a very particular specimen. It is a creature of God's earth, like any other, with its own right to live and live their lives, and it has a specific defense mechanism. Its skin is coated in a very special toxin. It is fatal to adult humans, and this little cephalopod, this little octopus, the blue ring octopus, holds enough of it to kill more than 20 people. So for you, ladies and gentlemen, what does that mean when something is all natural? You have the choice, and your choice alone. Do you delve into the sea, seeking your next blue ring octopus? Once you spot it, do you choose to touch it or not? The octopus may live its life over there, and being the way it is, it might not be welcome at your table. And the octopus somehow has to manage and mentally get through your choice to not prefer to have it at your table, despite the fact that its defense mechanism is just natural. Next element. Don't we think that the narcissist himself suffers the most from his condition? No. Should we do an MS Excel sheet and calculate the damages? Everyone affected by the narcissist versus the narcissist themselves? Should we do that? A person like Jessica wouldn't like the tally. And now to you, ladies and gentlemen, why do I think that it was supposedly due to very traumatic experiences, the condition of the narcissist? Okay, agreed? Yes, in most cases that seems to be the case. Not limited to, but to a majority as I understand it. Why do I think that you, ladies and gents, should not care at all about the trauma that a narcissist has suffered? I will repeat that. Why do I think that you should not care at all about the trauma that a narcissist has suffered? Understanding is fine, but why shouldn't you care? Because your empathy needs to be on pause with them. Your empathy was what kept you in there, because you felt where it came from. You felt why they were this way. And that made you forgive them, give them another chance, give them the chance number 41, whichever it is. Repeat, repeat, repeat. On their part, nothing changed. That is why you shouldn't care. And in addition to that, there are so many resources in this world today for anyone and everyone who really thinks and wants to change their lives fundamentally for the better. Whoever does not choose to do this is free to choose not to do this. But they might no longer qualify for your time, your validation, and your attention, ladies and gentlemen. And that is your good right to judge. Why, in addition to that, do I think that the relevant traumas in the narcissist shouldn't matter to you at all? Because no trauma in this world is a justification to proactively traumatize other people. Where did your PTSD come from? It didn't just materialize, now did it? It didn't just drop by. So what is Jessica doing here? Playing the victim card again. Does this mean, next element, does this mean that you should allow everything to happen to you? Of course not. Well, Jessica, congratulations, Miss Sherlock. Finally a correct utterance here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have, in addition to that, the right to actually not let anything, not just less, but not let have anything happen to you, because you have a right to set boundaries, and they might be boundaries of pure steel, and it is your choice and your good right to do so. Well, here we come to the attempt to elicit understanding and common ground. Very mild, but it's basically sort of a breadcrumbing that supposedly Jessica is on our side. Penultimate point. This one made me smile when I read it several times. Dear empaths, this is directed to you, ladies and gentlemen, who are empaths of any grade and among the spectrum. It is up to you, supposedly, to set better boundaries. It's all up to you. It's supposedly your responsibility. Sure, you have the responsibility to do so. What do we have here? We have the intent, the motivation of deflecting responsibility and sort of a covert playing the victim card. Last but not least, the final element. Instead of wallowing in victim mentality and in order to feed your ego by degrading the narcissist as the Antichrist in order for you to feel better. You meaning you, ladies and gentlemen, and my person. Well, this is a channel for life warriors who've had enough, and none of us wallow in victim mentality. We are pursuing missions. We are improving. We are learning. We are changing. And I perfectly understand why that is a problem for toxic people. Nobody is wallowing here, hun, except for you, Jessica, and all the silent ones watching. It is projection to you, ladies and gentlemen, and a projection of the most vile sort. And I need to dissect this so you understand the gravity of what's actually being said here. You should be brought to think that your transformation process, your process of setting boundaries, your personal path of liberation is nothing more than an ego trip on your part. Imagine that. I don't know what Jessica has been smoking, but it certainly wasn't conducive to her mental health. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, that a person like Jessica is just in the process of shitting her pants. Because of people like me and people like you, more people out there are waking up every day, and I understand that this threatens the so carefully built mirror images of one's personal grandiosity. And ladies and gentlemen, may you shake them and tear them to the ground until all that remains is truth and authenticity, because truth finds a way. We are here at projection and gaslighting when it comes to intent and motivation. I have a conclusion for you, ladies and gentlemen. This was the very educational comment by, as I called her, Jessica. A few takeaways I want you to keep in mind and to extrapolate from today's video. Whoever tries to get leverage over you by using empathy, family, friendship, that person is manipulating you. They do not have your best interest at heart. Next, your empathy to yourself. May it be your highest creed. Your empathy to yourself. Your duty, your obligation to yourself to heal. And whoever approaches you whining or in an aggressive tone, it is your right to remove your time, your energy, your validation, your attention. Next, does your setting of boundaries cause narcissistic collapse? Who cares? Who cares? You didn't set out today thinking I will cause narcissistic collapse, but you setting boundaries was your reaction to their psychological abuse, and the consequences of you setting boundaries might or might not cause narcissistic injury or even a narcissistic collapse. Whichever it is, it doesn't matter. This is their problem. You didn't set out to do this. If this is the effect, in order for you to remain sane and to find some way, shape or form of healing, then darn it, so be it. Has your interlocutor not done their trauma resolution homework? Okay, you are free to stay with them, and you are also free to leave them. Last but not least, I encourage you to judge anyone and everything each and every day, because nothing short of your survival is attached to you making adequate and better judgments. And you should do so without a guilty conscience. I know they try to train this from your mind. They try to indoctrinate you away from that. But you actually have permission to judge. They judge all the time. Everyone does. Why don't you? That said, ladies and gentlemen, be your own hero and be your own heroine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.